It's the 2021 Arts Awards celebration, presented by ArtsWestchester, with your co-hosts, Michael Minahan, ArtsWestchester Board President, and Janet Langsam, ArtsWestchester CEO, featuring this year's Arts Award winners, sponsored by Jacob Burns Foundation, Westchester Medical Center, and Westchester Magazine. Ladies and gentlemen, please take your seats. The 2021 Arts Awards celebration is about to begin.
Good evening. I'm Michael Minahan, President of the Board of Directors for ArtsWestchester. Welcome to the second annual Virtual Arts Awards celebration, where we will be honoring 7 extraordinary leaders in the arts this evening. Tonight is also about celebrating all of us, the arts groups who've created new ways of delivering on their missions during this pandemic, and about all of you who have been there right by our side, supporting virtual events like this one and staying connected to the arts in your community. Some call her the godmother for the arts. Some call her the champion for the arts. Either way, she's our fearless leader for the arts and for ArtsWestchester. Please join me in welcoming my co-host for tonight, and ArtsWestchester CEO, Janet Langsam.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you all for being here today at our annual Arts Awards ceremony. Now that it's spring, and now that we have a vaccine, and more is coming, it's time to just restart the arts in Westchester. Time to get back to going to the theater, time to get back to hearing some music, dancing, getting back to our city streets, and enjoying the joy of the arts as we begin to open up our different venues in Westchester. Our affiliates are gearing up. They are reopening and recharging and rehiring talent. On behalf of ArtsWestchester and our Arts Award Committee Chair, Barbara Monahan, I am so pleased to introduce to you our 2021 Arts Award winners.
Introducing our 2021 Arts Award winners, the Honorable Benjamin Boykin II, Vinnie Bagwell, Dr. Judith Schwartz, the Village of Sleepy Hollow Wishing Wall, Jazz Forum Arts Jitterbugs Program, the Westchester Chordsmen, Elijah Goodwin. Our first award tonight goes to Chairman Benjamin Boykin II.
Janet recently had the pleasure of sitting down with Chairman Boykin in our gallery to talk about the arts in these unprecedented times. Let's take a listen.
I wanted to ask you about, you were a resident of White Plains for 30 years, and you must have watched things change here. Tell me a little bit about your observations.
Yeah. Well, we moved here in 1989, so it's 31 years almost. And obviously when we moved here, this whole block was empty. I came in here in 1999 and this building was vacant. They had a drop ceiling here, and I thought about how beautiful it would be if we could open up the ceiling, because I know these old banks were so wonderfully designed. And we see this today on the work.
Remember?
Yes,
you remember
I do
what
remember.
it looked like?
I remember what it looked like. I do.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I think that it was a good move, and you have been so supportive of the arts. I wonder, do you have some arts in your background? Do you paint? Do you play the saxophone? What did I miss?
No, I don't have any arts in my background, so to speak, but I love art. I mean, when we travel, we love going to the museums. We like going and looking at sculptures that are out there because it gives us an understanding of sense of place. And when you come into our home and above our fireplace, we have a picture of the Black baptism because we're from the South. And in the South, people used to be baptized in the river.
Really?
So that draws us to our connection to our Southern roots. And we have other artists' pictures in our house. We have the Banjo Man. We have the Underground Railroad, just to name a couple art pieces. We have It Takes a Village. So we're very much, yes, into art. Yes, love art.
Now, just one more thing that I want to let you talk about is the Challenge Grant. For years, ArtsWestchester has been doing this challenge program, and with you at the helm of the Board of Legislators, it's now been able to take off in a way that really is much more meaningful than before. So perhaps you'd like to talk a little bit about that.
Sure. The $250,000 that we added for the Challenge Grant that was actually started late this year, had 85 organizations that participated, and you were able to get it accomplished in record time. And it was very diverse to a very diverse group of individuals and organizations. So I commend you on doing that. Again, the whole Board of Legislators is behind this. We're your partners in art. These challenge grants are so important. They're for small organizations, one person, two persons, but they have an opportunity to be part of something bigger, ArtsWestchester. And so I think this challenge grant is so important. You provide them with a certain amount, they have to raise an equal amount, and given that ability to do that, they perform. We had 85 groups that performed this year. And I know now as you move into 2021, you've set up a new social justice program that's coming forward. Again, you have been a visionary for the arts and where the arts should be going.
Well, we believe in social justice, and we believe too that the arts can be a good promoter of social justice just by getting people of all communities together and understanding each other's cultures and traditions. One of the things that's happening here in White Plains that I'm so pleased about is the public art that's being generated on Main Street, 50 Main Street with the Ginsberg development. We picked out a beautiful sculpture for his building. We've been asked by Lennar to do the same with a mural. How do you feel about all that outdoor art and, you know, using the landscape to enrich the community?
Oh, I think outdoor art is critically important. As people walk through with foot traffic, they stop, they look. What does this mean? Why is it here? Again, it gives meaning to the place that you are in. And when people go away, they'll say, if you go to the town or the city or the village, make sure you look at this sculpture. It's very important. Also, it improves the building. It makes the building come alive and be part of its environment.
If you were to, you know, just think about one or two things that you've accomplished, what would be a highlight in your mind?
Well, obviously, marriage and having kids and see my two daughters grow up to be wonderful, powerful women. That's number one. I think as far as the public service aspect, helping redevelop the city of White Plains. I mean, as I walk around, I look at my resume. You can see the buildings, you can see what is happening, not only downtown, but in the communities. But I have been so pleased to be able to serve the public and to be able to give back.
So thank you, Ben, for spending a little time with ArtsWestchester in this glorious building that you walked by for many years as an empty place. And thank you for all you do for the arts in Westchester.
Well, thank you very much. And I would also like to congratulate all the other honorees. Congratulations to ArtsWestchester.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's not often that a Yonkers-born sculptor is literally making world history through her artwork. Ladies and gentlemen, please meet this year's Artist Award winner, Vinnie Bagwell.
I became a sculptor because I was trying to break a painting block. I hadn't painted for 7 years, I'm untutored, and I don't know technique, I just kind of do stuff and it works. And so I called myself trying pottery, but then I got intrigued by sculpture, and it came like magic. When I first learned that I could sculpt, like, whoa, I thought God wanted me to change directions. And of course the question is, and do what? And so I began looking around, looking for sculpture. And I went to this exhibition in Connecticut, and 200 sculptures, bronzes in the Stanford Mall, and there were no public artworks about people of color, none. It was supposed to be the largest collection ever on the East Coast, and there was nothing about black people. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna do that. And then of course the question was, how do you get to do that? And it was challenging figuring out how to compete for public art. So then it occurred to me, I could create my own commission. I want to do Ella Fitzgerald. She's an American music icon. She grew up here, she's black, she's a woman. And Yonkers didn't have anything but dead presidents and war heroes, so it fit. It's like, you need to do this because, first of all, she's ours. And so luckily they said, yes, let's do that. Yonkers has a very important history about enslaved Africans that most people don't know. When I found out that they were among the first to be freed by law, by John Jay, 64 years before the Emancipation Proclamation, and that's important history. That's American history. It's not just Yonkers, not just New York, that's American history. In 2009, I knew in 10 years, it was going to be the 400th anniversary of enslaved Africans coming to this country. I understand the importance of having something be timely. And so I said, we have enough time. It's going to take us about 10 years to raise the money and do the whole project. So let's start now so that we can be on time, in time. With all of the police brutality and the different things that black people are still experiencing after all this time still. It's like just public art. People will pass by and learn a story in a heartbeat. And so that was the primary impetus for creating the Enslaved Africans Rain Garden Initiative. We knew that this was going to matter now. We just didn't know it was going to matter so much. It's very exciting to be creating still one of the first large public art installations to celebrate enslaved Africans, because here we are 20 years into the millennium and we still don't have a lot of art in public places about enslaved Africans. It's just so wonderful to be acknowledged. So much time and energy goes into creating meaningful arts projects for not just Yonkers, but the county of Westchester and the New York tri-state area. And it's nice when people let you know that they see you. I'm just very excited that we're coming into the home stretch. Very, very grateful for ArtsWestchester and, oh my goodness, New York State and Yonkers and supporters of this project, because this is an important time for us to talk about our history.
We've all heard the expression, it takes a village, but in this case it really did. More than 250 people came together to create a vibrant river walk mural around the old GM plant in Sleepy Hollow. Check out what this village did.
This year's next honoree is the Village of Sleepy Hollow, Wishing Wall.
The wall that currently exists here today has been here since the mid-70s. Unfortunately, it was a rather ugly concrete wall until we got together with the village about a year ago. And as you see, it's actually come out really wonderful. The traffic down here has been fantastic. Unfortunately, the wall will at some point be torn down, but we really hope to keep it up as long as we can, let the village and the community enjoy it, and really add to the experience here on the water. The people here were so involved. They were here 3-4 weekends in a row, all during the week. We were able to give them a little area to set up. They had some great weather, some great community involvement. The weekends really transformed the wall over the course of the almost 4 weeks it took to do it. It was really great to see so much of the community come out, and the people who got involved with the village were fantastic.
We're a very diverse community in terms of where people originated from, economic circumstances, and a whole number of things. So this gave us the opportunity for people from throughout the entire village to come together on one project.
And I am just thrilled by the way this has turned out. There was so much enthusiasm and so many people got involved. I really think this will make a difference in our village in bringing us together for the future.
The middle is me, and the rainbow stands for peace and happiness, and that's it.
This is Captain Kidd's pirate ship, and he's a famous pirate that in the 18th century he was, well, stealing around here and plundering. He reportedly landed here in Tarrytown.
Honestly, the best part was working with all the community, the kind of support and love that you got from everyone that was watching.
I had a lot of fun painting this over 2 days with my friends and other girls from my Girl Scout troop, and I got to meet a lot of new people.
We really appreciated everybody donating paint and making this wall possible, taking the wishes of people's paint from home and being able to put them up on the wall has been really inspirational.
It was exciting to see some of our older adults and children able to come out together and paint on the wall given COVID-19.
When this wall comes down, this is going to be the opening of an extraordinary new park for the people of Sleepy Hollow and for the region.
There is power in art, and there is power in the people's ability to come together as a group of individuals to create something that is larger than all of us.
I wish I was an artist. This is so beautiful to see. I'm sorry to see that they take it down.
How could you create a mural in Sleepy Hollow without the Headless Horseman? Everyone is welcome here. We're sharing. We're wishing for a bright future.
Who says that the arts can't be transformative? I believe they can. Just like this mural in the village of Sleepy Hollow, where artists came together to really make a difference. Now it is my pleasure to introduce our next honoree.
Our next awardee is Dr. Judith S. Schwartz, the winner of the Emily and Eugene Grant Arts Patron Award.
I've met a lot of artists in my career, but I don't believe I've ever met anyone who lives and breathes the arts with such gusto as Dr. Judith Schwartz. In all the years that I have known her, her support of ceramic artists and artists in general has never ever wavered.
Artists play an incredibly important role in society. How hard it is to take an idea and just visually be able to present it in a way that evokes an emotion and a response in the viewer. I find this work incredibly poignant. I enjoy how artists interpret life, how they interpret meaning, and how they bring meaning into my own life. Artists to me are visual philosophers. How hard it is to take an idea out of the thin air and then to try to visualize it and to make it real. Art is about sharing ideas and having a point of view. It's been very comforting being among the artists in my collection. Being an artist, I understand how vital and how difficult the role is and how responsible one has to be in terms of believing in what they're doing. You don't have to have money to support the arts. You need to just be a lover and a wanting to have art in your life.
I know how I know a particular piece of art when it's lent out to a show and I miss it.
I've never thought of myself as a collector. I've just wanted to support the artists who I've met over the years. They've been fabulous people and they've become tremendous friends.
Judy's continuously supporting artists, and never more so during this pandemic when so many artists are struggling.
When I pick up a mug in the morning, I remember the artist's name, I remember where I bought it, and I enjoy my cup of coffee remembering that experience. Every object reminds me of a friendship, reminds me of an artist's voice, and the best way you can support an artist is by buying their work. I've become a great appreciator of other people's talents and admire their creativity when I myself try to make art. The best way to appreciate art is to try it yourself. My love of ceramics began at Ohio State University. My undergraduate degree was in studio art, my master's was in art education, and then I went on for the doctorate in aesthetics. So the combination of those three things really has given me an incredibly well-rounded, versatile way of thinking about art. Clay for me, no matter where I travel in the world, has been an eye-opener, an open door to artist studios, to galleries, to museums, but most of all to culture and to the way people live. If you study clay, you're studying geology. If you study clay, you're studying chemistry and the chemistry of glazes. You're studying aesthetics. You're studying anthropology. You're studying engineering. But when you also study clay, you study culture and you study people in there is not a civilization that does not have clay at its very core and roots. Being on boards and being a teacher and being an educator and being a juror and being someone who collects art, it all is interdisciplinary. It all comes together under the roof of just being a lover and appreciator of the arts. I mean, the arts make me happy.
And now, a word from our sponsor.
The Jacob Burns Foundation is proud to be the title sponsor for the Arts Awards celebration for the 5th year in a row. As we gather tonight, we celebrate the arts for their amazing power to lift our spirits, unite us, and transcend our differences. We salute each awardee for their unique contribution to the artistic and cultural life of this county. Thank you for joining the Jacob Burns Foundation in support of ArtsWestchester.
Ladies and gentlemen, this year's Sophia Abelese Arts Education Award goes to Jazz Forum Arts and their Jitterbugs program.
As a nonprofit that's been around for 35 years, we have always kind of pivoted before that term became popular in the pandemic to do different kinds of programming as we developed as an organization. We'd experiment with things and some worked and some didn't. ArtsWestchester has been a sponsor of ours for many, many years and has been incredibly supportive, particularly Janet Langsam over the years has been incredibly supportive of what we do.
That support helped us continue to be able to provide programming for young people and their families in our outdoor concerts and also through discounted ticket admissions to our concerts at the Tarrytown Music Hall and several other venues in Westchester.
Just as we were about to hold our first in-person class, we had to replan everything and ended up, going online.
We're here at the Jazz Forum, so welcome back to week 2 of the Jitterbugs winter series on New Orleans music.
We decided to give it a try and it really worked out.
And anybody know what I'm holding? Maisie, what you got?
A banjo?
Very good. Gabriella, it was a double thumbs up for awesome.
When we began to formulate the idea of doing a program, Isak Edblad, who is actually our digital media person, came up with the idea of a little kids program for his kids and others.
It was exciting to see how people were, how families, from the living rooms were able to engage with jazz music.
So with the pandemic, it gave us an opportunity to do entirely new things.
Jitterbugs is fabulous because it gets kids from the earliest ages and gets them involved. Not only are they sitting, in this case, watching a Zoom presentation, but they're with in some cases, their siblings, their parents, and participating in the process. They're playing an instrument, they're clapping their hands, they're singing, they're making art to the music that they're experiencing.
They have a lot of fun. They really, they can jump around and it's okay.
So last week we learned about some of improvisation and melodies and rhythms. And this week we're going to learn a little bit about where all that stuff came from. Everyone should know this because guitar, and as we learned last week, it is the coolest of the instruments. There's a melody, rhythm, and improvisation. You guys recognize the song?
A lot of things we talk about that are inherent to jazz music, improvisation, working with one another, teamwork, all that sort of stuff exists in everyday life. And kids experience that all the time. So now all we're doing is showing them that this also happens in jazz. And hopefully that'll translate into them enjoying it as they get older.
Thanks, Mark.
All right, thank you, man.
Great. Well, have a great week, everybody. See you.
ArtsWestchester has been in our corner a long, long time. So thank you, Jazz. Thank you, Jazz Forum Arts. Thank you, Jitterbugs. Thank you. Thank you, ArtsWestchester.
Cut.
Talk about power couples. Mark Morganelli and Ellen Pryor have been jazzing up the arts ever since they got to Westchester 30 years ago. And now they're passing it on to the next generation with their wonderful Jitterbug program. Thanks, guys, for all you do for the arts in Westchester.
Our next award winner of the Arts Organization Award is the Westchester Chordsmen.
Well, if you love music, you're going to love our next honoree. They've been bringing music to Westchester County since 1953. Not just any music, but a cappella music. Take a listen.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Westchester Chordsmen.
This is a good day for singing a song, and it's a good day for moving along. Yes, it's a good day. How could anything go wrong? A good day from morning till night. Yes, it's a good day for shining your shoes, and it's a good day for losing the blues. Yes, it's a good, good day from morning till night.
The song A Good Day is a great example of the kind of music that we sing.
because you can really hear the harmonies, and it's an uptune, and we all love singing these uptunes. We do sing some ballads as well, but it's just a fun song and we enjoy singing it. In fact, we used this song as part of our free singing lesson program, and we had the people who didn't know how to sing, they just came to us for these free singing lessons, and they learned how to sing this song so they could sing it together with us at a special performance for their graduation ceremony. It was tremendous fun. Music is a universal language, and everybody loves music, and it doesn't matter if it's rap or Frank Sinatra or classical music. Everybody loves music. It moves you, and it's a wonderful thing that music can move you. It's a different language, and the fact that we're using words is only part of the language. The language is the melody, it's the harmony, and it's the performance, and it's just a wonderful thing to lift the spirits of the audience and to lift the spirits of the performers. The Westchester Chordsmen has been around since 1953, and we've seen hundreds and hundreds of men come through and thousands of people in the Westchester community and beyond enjoying our music. Being on stage, it's a little bit frightening because you've got the lights shining on you, you've got the audience, expecting, but the audience, wants to be entertained, they want to like you, and we like them, and we're confident in our singing ability, and we've rehearsed the songs. So we were all confident singing on stage, and you just loosen up after the first song, and it's a lot of fun. When we go to the nursing homes, senior facilities, rehab facilities in the holiday season and present holiday songs, the people there, some of them can't even talk, but they start singing with us. They're tapping their toes, and every once in a while we run across a person in their 90s who used to sing with us. So it's very rewarding to do that. And I got involved because my son was in his high school a cappella group and participated in the youth festival that the Chordsmen sponsor. And when I saw the Chordsmen singing as part of that youth festival, I turned to my wife, I said, "Hey, you think I should do that?" And she said, "Yeah, you should do that." And here I am. I frequently say that when I joined the Chordsmen, I gained 50 new friends, and I still feel that way. The arts really are a spiritual thing. And if you can lift our spirits in a difficult time, that's a wonderful thing. It's a blessing to give that to people. The whole reason we get together and sing is for the joy of singing. And our mission really is to bring the joy of singing to the entire community, not just as audiences, but to get them to come and sing with us also. The audiences love it. They all smile and cheer, and they walk out of the auditorium feeling so much happier than when they walked in. And that's our goal, to make people smile.
Congratulations to Stephen and to all the Westchester Chordsmen. Ladies and gentlemen, there's never been a more important time than now to invest in the arts. The last year has been devastating to the arts sector in terms of losses of revenue, losses of jobs. Your gift in any amount will help ArtsWestchester support the arts in your community. Please consider making a donation if you're able, simply by clicking the donate button at the bottom of the screen. Anything that you can do today to contribute and really invest in the arts would be greatly appreciated. Thank you.
Our next award goes to Elijah Goodwin, the winner of the Larry Sally Photography Award.
It's now my honor to introduce this year's Lawrence Sally Photography Award winner. Please meet Elijah Goodwin.
Part of the wonderful thing about photography is that it gives us a chance to slow down and really recognize and see the beauty in the world. There is so much unappreciated beauty. We see kind of the big beauty, and then we miss these little things in the human world and the natural world. We're so busy that we just pass them by without noticing and taking the time to appreciate them. And that's what I love about photography. It gives us a chance to slow down and really be witness to that beauty and take the time to not only document it, but truly enjoy it and absorb it. Once you start seeing that beauty, you'll never stop seeing it. People often assume that if you're a scientist, you can't be an artist, or if you're an artist, you can't be a scientist. And I think that's really an incorrect way of looking at the world. Science and art have a lot in common. A good artist is also a scientist, and a good scientist is also an artist. The process of doing the art and the photography is almost as important as the end product. The more you're out doing it, even the failures help inform the successes later on. First and foremost, the art is always for myself. It's almost therapeutic. It's a way of interacting with the world. It's a way of interpreting the world. And I learn more about the world around me and about myself through the process. And I think for me, with nature photography, it's almost a religious experience. It's a moment of feeling, so part of the natural landscape. You're not a human, that's separate. You're part of the natural world. I think if you do art that is true to yourself, other people will react to it in the same way.
Aren't our 2021 Arts Awardees extraordinary? Now I'd like to thank you for your support, not just for tonight, but for staying with us during this terrible pandemic. It's been a difficult time for the arts all over America and here in Westchester County. And you have been a wonderful support system for artists and arts lovers throughout this county. Stay with us, because spring is coming, the arts are coming back, and there will be much wonderful performances taking place in every nook and cranny of this county, in every venue, in every theater and museum. Be sure to subscribe to our e-newsletter so you can find out what's going on in Westchester.
That's right, Janet. We need you to start thinking about coming back to our museums, our galleries, and our theaters. Our artists will be waiting for you.
And thank you for your support. Good night.
On behalf of Arts Westchester, thank you for joining us tonight. Good night.
A special thanks to our generous sponsors: Jacob Burns Foundation, Westchester Medical Center, Westchester Magazine. Star sponsors: Yvonne Pollock and Lucille World. Patrons: Berkeley College, Barbara Elliott, Empire City Casino, Ethan Allen, Betty Himmel, Historic Hudson Valley, M&T Bank, Tony Medellina, Barbara Z. Monahan, Victoria Morris, Mutual of America, Natalie Ritter, Hannah Schneerler, Deborah Simon, Village of Sleepy Hollow, Kathleen Walker, White Plains Hospital.